Good day everyone. Kumusta? Kumusta man tanan? Okay lang man tanan? Okay, so today we're going to have this topic, no, behavior of of sound, no. So what's the behavior of sound? So napo din ni behavior day ang sound, no. So okay, what do you think? No, is there a difference in the sound of a basketball thrown on a wall and on a bed? No, so napay kalainan. The sounds you hear may vary depending on what the sound a wave hits at as it travels. How does a sound behave when it encounters an object in its path? So may mga sounds nila, no? So it means vary. For example, bola, no? Katong bola nga you thrown on the wall, no? Lahi po ng sounds ato niya. And then mas kusog. And then the ball that you throw on a bed, no? So lahi po ng iyang tingog. Okay? Sound travels in waves. No, when sound waves hit an object, it can be reflected, absorbed, or transmitted by the material. No, magdepende sa material nga iya ang matravelan or maigo, no, or daganan sa sound. Okay. Next, no, reflection. Okay. So reflection, when a sound wave hits a hard surface and it cannot pass through, the sound bounces back. The bouncing back of the sound is called the sound reflection. No, so reflection of sound or the bouncing back of sound into the same medium when it strikes any hard surface is known as reflection of sound. So for example, no, you're in a room na grabe ang iyang mga walls, no, ay semento. So bisan pa og sometimes, no, or nay mga magamit ingon ana nga sometimes grabe na kakusog ang ilahang giistoryahan diha, but dili siya makalapos, no, sa pikas nga room because because of the ang object, no, because of the object hard ang surface, no. So grabe ka gahi sa surface mo na siyang dili siya kalapos, no, pero kung mga plywood lang, no, ang wall, so pwede na siya mulapos dito sa pikas na madunggan ang sounds, no, sa pikas nga rooms. Pero pag kanang hard surface siya mga concrete, no, so dili siya kalapos dito sa other rooms, no. Mo bounce back lang sa balik dito sa sulod, no. So next, no, echo. So unsa man ni pasabot aning echo? So we have heard echo, no, the word echo, no. Echo is a repeated sound reflected from a hard surface. So ang echo daw a repeated sound, no, reflected from a hard surface, no. When sound is reflected from the hard surface of a smaller space, the sound may bounce off walls several times, producing multiple echoes. No, this kind of reflected sound is called revibration. No, so it means na nag-vibrate na, ning kuan na siya, ning vibrate na siya, more vibrate na po siya because of the hard surface, no. So mostly ginagamit siya sa auditorium. Okay, next, no, echolation, no. So what do we mean by echolation, no? So pasabot sa echolation is the use of reflected sound to locate an object. So echolation, no, echo from the word echo. So it is a way of locating an object, no. Some animals such as bats, dolphins, whales, and some birds use echolation, no. Echolation helps them find their way and search for food, no. For example, ang bat, no, wala siya vision, no, wala siya makita, no, but through this method, no, kining ginatawag nato nga echolation. So makita niya ang iyang prey, no. Makita niya, uy, nara kong prey, sundan lang to niya tong tingog, no, using sundan lang niya tong echo, makalch na to niya tong kato iyang prey, no? Sometimes po they will know if the animals, no, if an animal is bigger sa ilaha, makaside po na sila sa true ecolation o kung mas dako pang na-produce ato nga eco, no? So makaside sila, uy, mas dako ni nga object, no, mas dako ni na animals, no, compared sa ako. Okay, so that's what happened, no, sa mga animals that are kanang minus og ang ilang vision, no. So ginagamit nila ang ginalocate nila ang ilahang food, no, ang ilahang prey through sa eco, no, ginagamit nila sa eco collision. Next, no. Okay, since sound travels in waves, no. So ang sound, it travels in waves. It is also possible for waves to bend when they hit medium with different temperature. Okay, sound wave no changes speed as it travels through the air at different temperatures. So ang sound wave, no, ang speed ani could be affected, no, could be changed, no, ko depende sa temperature. Okay, this is the reason why sounds can be heard louder and clearer during a cold night compared compared during a hot day. So mas madunggan ang tingog, no, during cold night compared to hot day. So as shown in figure 22, during daytime, no, sa buntag, during the daytime the air near the ground is warmer. Okay, so ang hangin dito sa ground is warmer siya and the particles of air are less dense. In that condition, sound waves are refracted away from the warm air and bent upward towards the colder air high above the ground. In the figure below, when a bell no from a clock tower, the sound may not be heard by the person from a distance. So dili madunggan sa tao, no, ang ring, no, ang tingog sa bell, no, because of the hot air, no, ang warmer air, no. So ang cold air nara sa taas. Next, no. Okay, when the air near the ground is cooler, no, kung ang hangin nga naa dito sa ubos, no, is a cooler and the warm air above, no, kung nasa taas ang nasa taas warm air, no, sound waves bend downward, so paubos, no, pa-curve siya. In the figure below, no, the wave shifted towards the cooler ground, no, sound waves that bend towards and become loud because the direction of cooler night air allows people who are at the ground level to clearly hear the sound. So kung mo lagi na during cold night, no, mas madungog nimo ang tingog, no, sa objects or sa sounds, no. So for example ang bell, no, pag cooler air siya sa ground, no, mas mo bend siya ang sound sa objects nga kung patingugon, mo-bend siya toward, no, sa tao, no, toward kung asa man ni siya malagpot, no. So mas madunggan siya clearer, no, klaro. Next, no, absorption and transmission of sound, no. So when a sound wave encounters an object as it travels, it can be reflected, absorbed, or transmitted depending on the material. So ang kining object, no, nga motingog or sounds, okay, sound wave, no, magdepende ang iyahang reaction for that. Okay, pwede siya ma-absorb, pwede siya ma-transmit, no, ibanda, and then depende sa material, no, kung sa mga nakapalibot na material. When sound hits a soft material like a pillow, most of the sound is absorbed. The absorbed sound is converted to heat energy, similar to what happens when light is absorbed with when light is absorbed by an object. So mahimo siya energy, no. So mao po na siya sa light, no, nga mahimo it can be converted into energy. Sound is transmitted by objects that allow sound waves to pass through the material. No, transmission is of sound also depends on the thickness of material. So magdepende sa kabaga, no, or kabaga kanipis sa material, no, for example sa inyong balay, no. If your house or if a certain naka sa isa ka lugar, no, or naka sa isa ka balay, isa ka payag, no, or balay-balay, no, kung unsa man, no? So makita nimo dito uy, mas mulapos ang tingog, di ba? Pag nipis, no, mulapos ang tingog, klaro pa gid sa gawas, no. But if you are here in the concrete, naka sa mga concrete nga mga buildings, no, naka sa, if you are in a concrete building, no, nasa concrete kayo, hard wall gid, no, hard surface gid, no, dili siya kalapos dito sa gawas ang tingog, no, bisag unsa pa ka kusog, no, dili siya kalapos because baga man ang iyang ang barrier, no. Sound can travel faster through thinner materials. Next one, the walls and ceilings of movie theaters are usually covered with curtains and other decorative fabric. No, the seats are also made of soft cushions covered in fabric. Those materials help absorb the sound that travels through it. Now, while reducing reflection and transmission of sound, those conditions help to produce clear, high quality sounds inside the theater. No, if you have kung naka-attend na mo, no, if you have attended a meeting or attended an event in a theater, no, kanang they are made of pillows, no, most of them, no, naka covered with fabric ato mga lingkuranan, no, for that na dili ma-absorb ra tong ang sounds, no, dili makalapos, no. So here we go, no. What is an echo, no? So an echo is, it is a repeated sound that occurs due to reflection. Next, now which statement is true about sound? Okay, so the behavior of sound depends on the kind of materials that it encounters as it travels. So, mo na sa sounds, no? Behavior. Okay, so okay, thanks for watching and thanks for joining in this session. In this session, hoping to see you, no, in the next videos. No? So God bless everyone.